When you're listening to a story in the radio, what happens is that they play the sound. So if I do this, any person can predict what type of a sound is it, because it's radio. But if I do this, and anyone can tell, I think something big is moving. But if I do, it's a giant footstep. You can tell. So radio plays with them. But we are not going to the sound theater. We are going with theater. We are combining sound, pictures, emotions, and intellectual. And then number 4, empathy and understanding. Theater brings empathy and understanding. When you get to see, when these learners can read, but if these learners can portray Mr. M and portray what happened in My Children, My Africa, then we'll have a deeper understanding, because there will be those characters. Theater allows us to embody those characters, embody a mother, embody a grandfather, embody it in the car. So it all deals with your imaginative. So if you imagine, if a child imagines that a cow, if you embody a cow, if a cow would walk on earth, this is how a child would imagine it. Probably a cow would walk like this. Right? And then another child will imagine herself, her own way. So, no, I think my cow would walk like Now that is creativity. Because they have never seen them. They believe in their mind. That is what theater brings. Theater fights the norm. If you think this is chicken theater, you can say this is meat. This is cheese. And who can debate that? Theater will give you the logical reasoning to debate that this is not chicken, but this is cheese. So what does theater, once again, instigate? Creativity. That's what we need on our children. Children need to play. Play. Even now they're playing outside. Children need to play. Theater allows us to play. It allows us to make our subjects more playful, other than more educative. That's where we learn most of the things. Most of the things. To be a police, I have learned how to play being a police. You're gonna freeze. I embody the police. Some children can embody a doctor. She's playing. She's imagining that. She's being that before being taught that. That's what theater encourages. Last but not least, critical thinking. That's what I've already addressed. Critical thinking. Theater says no to lazy thinkers. Theater says no to lazy thinkers. It's saying learners must think out of the box. That's what theater is saying. How am I saying that theater allows us to be out of the box? Children can write stories from their imaginations. Children can portray stories. Children can be stories. Learners can devise stories. Learners are full of imagination and creativity. All they need to do is that they need to be allowed in an area where they can play, be naughty, do all the things that will allow you, so that you understand what is the motive. Ours as theater, that's what we call ourselves, theater facilitators. We don't teach, we facilitate. When we say facilitate, it means we facilitate the creativity of a child. If a child if a learner realizes that his or her dreams are bigger than him, we as facilitators, we enter. We say, no, what you're thinking is actually correct. But if you can take that chair and put it that side, it will make sense. Then the child can conducively align his ideas. Children explode with big ideas. Learners have big ideas, but they don't know how to control these ideas. They cannot imagine. Some of these ideas, they think they're crazy. And when they tell us, it's surprising. So theater, nothing is a surprise. Everything is imagination. We believe in creativity and we believe in expressing. Learners can now express. They can now be confident of who they are because of theater. Last but not least, sharing it. Commemoration and tribute. Theater allows us to do tribute and commemorations. We have lost history. We have lost our history. We have lost our history. Our history is in the books. We are struggling with the men of teaching learners how to read. They find it even hard to connect with these words. So how do we do it? We rely on theater. We rely on theater. We rely on theater. How did our kids know about the legendary 1976, June 16 must fall? It was because of the media. What is media? Media is theater. It's just that theater has been taken and been broadcasted into filming. But filming is theater. This is how our kids get to interpret the history. This is how they learn about Sterkfontein caves. If we take our kids to Stanford caves, they're not going to give them books, I tell you this. They're going to take them in a room and put a projector. They will see who was Mrs. Bless. They have even statues. Ours is saying that as a Kevoluta's non-profit organization, is that theater is the most amazing and prominent philosophy we can use to generate and uplift our kids. Only with play. Kids must play. Kids must play. Kids must play. Kids must play. So we also on the arrangement that is already finalized to release a theater play where learners will be able to watch a bioscope. That bioscope, its initiative is to deliberately inform learners, advocate, represent, instigate, and activate the idea of fees must fall and the idea of education. To understand that learners must understand the fact, and learners must understand the history of education, because they are in the education. That's how they get to interpret it. We ask ourselves, why do learners reject education? It's because they do not understand education. If we sit them down, if we play with theater, if we make them be in the educational system, then I believe our theater mission would be amended. Without any further much, Jua, thank you so much for your time. I also have demographics here of reasons why boys and girls leave our school. We submitted some. Yes, and we also have, last but not least, a project called Boys and Girls Program. Boys and Girls Program, it's also going to be instigated. It's about educating boys and girls that they are not the same, but they are common. We must decrease the stereotype that's going around in our schools, that boys and girls are in a competition. They are not in a competition. Matter of fact, they're in a